Hi there. I'm taking a look at another one of Glenmorangie's cask finished whiskies. So this is the Nectar d'Or. This is a whiskey from obviously Glenmorangie from Tain in the Highlands, which is where it's distilled. But this is a whiskey that has been aged initially in bourbon barrels and then finished with casks from the Sauternes region of Bordeaux. Traditionally, whiskey would be finished in sherry barrels. And I guess this is from a time, probably in Victorian times, when sherry would have been shipped to the UK in cask rather than in bottle, and thus there would have been a fair number of sherry barrels available for people to age other things in rather than shipping them back to Spain. These days the sherry industry is much smaller than it was, say, 50 years ago, and there are fewer casks available, and so the distillers have been looking for different means to finish their whiskies, and I guess also it's quite fun experimenting. So Sauternes, as I say, in Bordeaux, so this is an area to the southeast of the city of Bordeaux itself, where they make quite particular sweet wines, the most famous of which Chateau Yquem. So these are wines made from Semillon and Sauvignon Blanc that has rotted with the botrytis fungus, becoming sweeter, more concentrated and quite honeyed. So the idea is that that's going to give us sort of a sweeter, rounder note to the whiskey. So I'll just add a tiny touch of water to this. And the reason for adding water is not necessarily to dilute it, but just to break up the surface tension, to allow the perfume to come out, to break the oils. It makes the aromas slightly less heavy, and it takes away a high-toned spiritiness that I always think of as quite heathery, and allows you to see the whiskey that little bit more clearly. The colour, first of all, I should remark on it, really quite a pale lemon yellow colour with lovely vibrancy. I mean, it actually looks quite like a paler Sauternes from, say, Barsac. It hasn't got the deep gold that you'd get in that sort of situation. The aromas, to me, Glenmorangie on their website talk about this as being a wine inspired by patisseries, and this is where I can see what they mean. There's an almost sort of pastry, I suppose, touch of vanilla-like sweetness, maybe a creamy hint as well from cream puff or something, and that's very harmoniously together. So to taste the whiskey, to me this is a lovely pure, actually, expression of what I think of as Glenmorangie. It's mid-weight, it's rounded, it's got a lovely sweetness, although it doesn't have the sort of the apricot-y sweetness that you'd get from a Sauternes. It's just rounded out, and there's a blending nicely with the sort of cedar and vanilla notes that you'd be getting from the American oak barrels. This spends 10 years aging, evidently, in bourbon barrels and then gets finished off in Sauternes casks. So the two flavours are coming through together there. The other thing to remember about this is that or to tell you about this, is that it's not been chill filtered. So this is a whiskey that hasn't had the protein stabilised out a bit. So that should give the whiskey a little extra roundness. Weight-wise, it's not too full or oily. It's got some lovely long flavours. There's a slight sort of citrus freshness to it, almost, I suppose, a slight note of candied peel. It's not dominant, but just at the finish there, it's coming out there. Again, that sort of vanilla notes gently opening up there. So yes, Glenmorangie, Nectar d'Or, Sauternes finish, and I should have said 46% alcohol. So again, helps to have a tiny touch of water. Thank you very much for watching. Bye now.